Hey, this is Dancing Rabbit. Welcome to another weekend pagan perspective. This one from Hannah's Reads, Once Borns and Old Ways. In your opinion, what does this mean to you? Because I'm not sure what is meant by it. In part of the Witch's Read of Chivalry, though there may be differences between those of the old ways and those who were once born must see nothing and must hear nothing. Um, I have never heard of the Witch's Read of Chivalry. Now, the Wiccan Read, both the short form and the longer poetic form, yes, but I've never heard of a Witch's Read of Chivalry. Even the probably older Wiccan Read is less than 100 years old. So, although it may um, harken back to the old religion, the pre-Christian pagan religions, I don't think it can, in any shape or form, honestly be called an old way. It's a fairly new way. Uh, not to say that there's anything wrong with it, but it's definitely not something that's authentically old. The term once born people, or excuse me, once born, some of the evangelical, not fundamentalists, but evangelical Christian writers use the term once born to mean people who are not Christian. They are born once physically, but they are not born again spiritually. So naturally, those once born people can't be expected to understand the things of the Christian God because they don't have God's Spirit in them and they're spiritually blinded. So, pity them, but don't, criticize them too much or hurt their feelings. I take that as sort of a put down term. I mean, it separates us from them. Um, the Greeks from the heathen, the Jews from the Gentiles, the Christians from the not Christians. Now, of course, if you're going to talk about a group of people, you have to have some term to describe them, to talk about them, something to call them. But I think something other than a sort of a put down term might be more appropriate. Um, I have never really heard the term once borns used in pagan circles to mean people who aren't pagan. Um, Kara mentions silver raven wolves to ride a silver broomstick. I read that years and years ago when it first came out, and I was a fairly new pagan, and I was looking for some information, and here's this huge, thick, encyclopedia-sized book that is written in a very readable style. And so I basically became a Silver Raven Wolf junkie for about, I don't know, 6 months or a year or so. I don't remember her using that term, but it's been years since I read the book. I don't have it anymore, and I'm certainly not going to go out and buy it just to research one, sentence or two. But I get the impression that the pagan who would use the term once born is talking about reincarnation. That, we pagans have been reincarnate many times, and so we have this vast spiritual experience, and we have some sort of a spiritual connection with our distant pagan ancestors that gives us particular wisdom, knowledge, or whatever. And these poor non-pagans, they've only been reincarnate once, so we can't expect them to be very enlightened. Again, I think that this is a sort of a put down. Sure, we have to have some term to describe people who are not pagan, and I really think that non-pagan is a whole lot more neutral than calling them once borns, because who knows how many times anybody's been reincarnate, or if we've been reincarnated at all for an actual fact. I mean, if I have been, I certainly don't remember any of my previous incarnations. I think simply calling people who aren't pagan either non-pagans or calling them whatever religion or spiritual path they happen to be, for example, Baptist, Hare Krishnas, or whatever they happen to be, is preferable to once-borns or mundanes or muggles or Cowains or any of the other terms that we might use for them. So I don't know that I've really contributed anything different or better or in addition to what the other hosts have contributed, but possibly you haven't watched them and this is the first one, and so maybe this is helpful. Okay, I'm going to say bye till next time, and we have a brand new, rather long and complicated series of questions, so it'll probably be a longer video, and hopefully I'll get it up a little early. So till next time, Dancing Rabbit. Peace. Yeah, there.